Alright kids, Chaplain Joe here. Sorry about yesterday. People were asking me questions about what are you working on, what are you restoring. Working on a 1966 Chevy Caprice. It's a 1 year, one make, one model. I'm hoping this car is actually going to be used for the Riders for Christ ministry, and I have to do a lot of work on it. Right now, if you look up here, it's your dashboard. Underneath is your dash pad. Underneath that is your channel over here. Your windshield sits in here. Well, I took the windshield out because my dash pad was buckled, ripped. The leather gets dried and it cracks and all kinds of stuff. So I found another one, and I figure, well, if I got to pull this out anyway to replace this. So I figure, while I'm here, I got it all out, I might as well take care of cleaning up the chipped paint, the rust. You see there's some spots here. So what we're going to do with that is we're going to use 180. Okay, so this is for you guys out there that are amateurs. You don't want to use anything heavy like 40 or 80 or 36. That's for grinding. So for you beginners, guys who want to do these cars in your driveway, all you need is the basics. And so you want to use about a 180 or a 220. I wouldn't go around 320, 420. That's more like for wet sanding. It's a lot more mild. You figure out too, I mean, you're here. See, you got your columns all a little ugly. It'd be nice to replace the steering wheel. I had electrical work done on the car, and when they took the steering wheel out, they didn't put it in the right way. They put it in upside down, as you can see. So eventually probably going to go back to him, have him correct the issue situation. So, but yeah, what we're going to do is we're just going to knock the rust down with the 180, as you can see. I got a piece of paper to cover up the gauges. They have them say if you can feel it when you go to paint, then you're going to see it. So you don't want to feel that. You want that to be nice and smooth. If it's nice and smooth, you lay the paint down, then you have a nice smooth finish. So remember that when you're painting, or if you're working on a car yourself and you want it to look decent. Remember, whatever you can feel, you're going to see. So as you can see now, if you look there now, what I'm doing, and it really, you know. So everything's out of the way? Is it? Alright, so my son, his friend, cleaning out the shed. So probably got to pause the live in a few minutes to help him move something. But you take a look at what I'm working on here. See how that's coming up to finish. See how, let's get you a little closer here. See how that's smooth to the touch. Now if I lay primer on top of that, she's going to come out really nice. Okay, and you see how the black and the red have a line there? That's called feathering. And that's what you have to do with chips and scratches. Like over here, you have to blend them together. See all those chips? See all those chips? So, not a lot of pressure. Let the sandpaper do the work. You can see the spot there. See the two chips? So what you want to do is, because this has probably never been painted. It's been 50 years since this car's probably been worked on. Or at least this part. I mean, not too many guys go this far with it, but I figure if we're gonna do it, we might as well do it right. Yeah, you know what I mean. So, all right, thanks, Dominic. So, take a look there. You see? Oh, don't look up in there. That's scary. But yeah, see right here. See that chip? 180. Just gently go back and forth like that. You don't have to go crazy with it. You don't need to pull out the grinders or the air tool. You don't want to gouge the metal. You definitely don't want to gouge the metal. You get a gouge in it, then you got issues. So you got a lot of stuff under here. It's just years. Here, see, take your hand like that. Just wrap it around. You'll make that one chip right there disappear. They always use 180. And now if you like with up here, we use 36. And I'll tell you why we use 36 and 40. Because one, you had a lot of the old dash when it rotted, the old dash pad rotted, you left a lot of that behind. So you got a lot of pitting right here from the rust. So when you get stuff like that, your best bet is to take it all the way down to bare metal. And the grit you want to use for that is a 40 and a 36. Or you can even use a grinding disc. But, I mean, you really don't need to. I mean, if you're not in a hurry and it's not a major issue, then I would just, use the 40 or the 36. You gotta be careful grinding. If you get it too hot, sometimes you're going to work the metal. You don't want to do that. But is going to give it a really nice finish when we're all done here. So, there's a chip there. And since there's not a lot of paint right here, I don't think this has ever been repainted. I think this is right out of the factory like this. See right there? I think it's just straight out of the factory like this. So for you new guys, you beginners, 180 grit, real gentle. See how, look, it just went right away. See that? But you still have a little bit here in the red, the old primer. So if you want, because it's so thin, you just take it all off, man. Strip it all down and start from the base. Now, if you do that with the exterior of the car, you're going to need a really good foundation. So you'd want to use like a 2K primer to bring the foundation, which I have for the outside of the car. I have that for the exterior. So, yeah. So, not only am I a chaplain for Riders for Christ, but I'm in the process of putting together. I've worked at Mako for a lot of years, so I got the basics. That's all you really need is the basics. So this video is for those guys out there who have a dream of putting one of these cars together, or any kind of a car for that matter. And I'll tell you something right now. This car's been set in my driveway for 3 years, but I'm looking at the end of May. Look at the end of the May. I should have this beauty on the road. We have big plans for it, the exterior. We're looking to wrap it. Yeah, see that? See, look, see how nice and smooth that's looking now? And it's not taking a lot of pressure, man. And you can pry right over that. See how that is? Look at that. See? See how clean that is now? Now, if you lay paint on that, that's going to be real nice. And what I'm using is a Rust-Oleum sandable primer spray bomb. Okay, they call these spray bombs. And this is supposed to stop rust. It's got some kind of a chemical in it that's supposed to rusting, like an epoxy. I'm working on a 1966 Chevy Caprice old man Gramps. 66 Chevy Caprice. I had to pull the dash because the dash pad was shot. So I got a new dash pad, and I figure, well, if I'm taking the glass out and the dash pad out, I might as well pull it all out. So that's what you're looking at right now. That's what the inside of a car looks like when you don't have a dash pad in it. She's got the SS interior, though, which is really cool. Got straight-up fire bucket seats. Really cool car, man. Like I said, we're 3 years in. We good to go? Yeah. All right. All right, I'm going to have my son walk around the car just to give you guys an idea what exactly I'm looking at. I'm going to take it and spin it. So just walk around the car, son. Let everybody see the car, what we're working on.
He's working on the windshield right now. Painted this. He's trying to get the window in. He just fiberglassed this because there's a whole bunch of holes in it. What, Dominic? Be quiet. So yeah. Dominic, you cannot blurt out your TikTok. I know we just sent fiberglass this, sand this down because this was all rotten and gone. I didn't know what to talk about.
Okay. They were asking what type of car we're working on. So. All right, I'm back. All right, the stuff's moved. Go ahead, finish up. But yeah, it's a 1966 Chevy Caprice, which is considered the top of the line model for the Impala. Here we back here. This is the piece we picked up. Ours was broken, so I had no choice but to buy this. And then part of the deal, I got the dash pad with it for $80. They did really well. Here's our original dash. We painted her up real nice yesterday. And of course, birds got somewhere to crap. They crap on top of my brand new paint job. So now I'm probably going to have to redo that. But here's we got a real nice dash pad. Even though it's used, it's out of an Impala. It's beautiful black leather. Excellent condition. Ours was all split right here. Look terrible. So we pretty much have every part you could possibly need for this car at this point. Door panel needs to be replaced. All that good stuff. But all right, so back to what we were doing here. So I'm going to continue to sand it all down. You see, from age, you got rust in here, rust all along here. You got rust up in there. See up in there, you got rust. So These are definitely some things that I need to work on and get out of the way. And I figure, you know what? I'm not looking to put this thing on Sotheby's, like some major, amazing auction or anything like that. But I'm looking to do is get it to the point where I can just have fun with it, man. We've been driving it for a while now. We got the motor all done, the transmission's all done, front suspension's been all done, powder coated underneath, really good shape. I got all the rear parts in the trunk. So I got a lot of major issues in the trunk, though. You see, okay, look right there. See how you have that big gouge and that big chip? Yeah, it's going away now. What are you doing with that, bro?
You just tried to snip me with them.
Put them in the box out there. Yeah, a little issue there, but watch. Like I said, you don't have to go crazy. You could if you wanted to. I mean, if I wanted to, I could spend months on one area. But these cars were built to have fun, man. Built to cruise, built to enjoy. So a little extra hardware. Awesome car, Peggy. Thank you. Yes, sir. Working really hard on this, old man. Definitely working hard on this. And like I said, hopefully the end of May, I got big plans for this thing. 3 years in, about $8,000 in the hole. But if you look outside, you guys are going to love this. See that? See that stack of pallets? Believe it or not, that's how I'm paying for this car. I get a stack of pallets. I run a pickup truck over to the pallet yard with a stack of pallets and make $50. $50. I go buy something else. I go buy something else. I go buy something else. And here you go. So don't ever think that you can't do it, because you can. You can. And somebody gave me advice a long time ago. They told me that some folks go out there and they buy a car like this and they get it home, they're fired up, they get their buddies come over, they get the wrenches out, get the tools out, and they take the entire car apart. And now you have 90,000 parts in the driveway and they can't get it back together again. And that's not a good idea. So what I've done is I've got a couple of projects going on at a time, but I'm doing it a section at a time. Like you can see, I want to get this done. The ridge channel was all rotted out, and I filmed that, and we videoed that. We fabricated the metal out of the wrong piece and all that. I'll show you that later. But yeah, I mean, it looks great. I got one more spot to weld, and I get that spot welded. I'll run a little more fiberglass on. I got a patch on the one side, but that's done. The rear glass will be ready to go in. I want to bang this out so I can get my dash bag in, and I can get the glass in and start driving it, man. The headliner's out. You see my son pulled the headliner out. The original owner actually had taken a roll of felt and glued it. You see that? That's what that fuzz is. So we're not sure if we're going to replace the headliner. A buddy of mine told me, hey, just drop a big block in it and put a cage, and away you go. Right now, we're going to get this done, and just this, I'm trying to encourage people, as a chaplain, a follower of Jesus, and been through hell and back in my own personal life. I just want to encourage people, and you can fulfill your dream. You really can. You really can. You just got to want it bad enough, man, and be willing to do the work. And there's plenty of places out there. YouTube is one of them that you can go to, actually, and just Google, man. Google it. Don't get discouraged. Don't think you can't do something. Don't do it, because you only get one chance around the sun, If you want to restore and rebuild a car, do it. Like I said, I'm on on Facebook, and there's like 25 Impala groups on there. And I'm going to tell you what, people that collect cars, people that have classic cars, people that are into hot rods are amazing people. That's what I'm discovering. They're amazing people. And believe me, they will help you along. And there's so many different groups out there. There's Impala groups. I've seen Barracuda groups. I've seen Mopar groups. You just get in one of those groups, get the car, tow the car home, get it in the driveway. You come up with a game plan and start one section at a time and start chipping away at it, man. I said I'm 2.5, almost 3 years into this thing, and I am looking at the end of the tunnel. I really am, and I'm super excited, man. I am super stoked. So be encouraged, man. Be encouraged. You can do this, man. You can do it. Anybody can do it. Well, I always used to tell my son, what one man can do, another man can do, or what one lady can do, another lady can do. Don't want to leave you ladies excluded there. Yeah, you see here. See, there's a big, see that big chip? Big, see? 50 years. Now, I don't think this dashboard's ever been out, you know? So, now my paper's getting a little clogged up. You see that? So, I think what we're going to do is go get ourselves another slice. But like I said, use 180 grit. And just, you ain't got to go crazy. I got a piece of paper here so I can cover all this up. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with these yet. Somebody broke my headlight switch. I have to figure that one out. But this section's in here. I mean, I'm not sure exactly. I mean, I probably could tape everything off and reshoot these. This is leather, soft leather, so I don't want to get paint on that. And there's got to be, somebody's out there's got to have a trick. Like, look at that. See how that's cleaning up? Look at that. So I might not even have to replace that. And they actually say that you can use steel wool. Look at that. See that? That's amazing. I didn't think it was going to come up that good.
Two woodcutters.
Well, don't worry about it right now. Just put everything aside. I'll get it later. But yeah, I don't know what happened to my live feed, but it went cuckoo there for a second. But you see this? Look at this. It's actually cleaning up. And I saw a trick actually on TikTok. My son did. He said you can actually clean this stuff with warm water and steel wool. Look at that. Just with my finger, how much that came out. Look at that. So, Lord willing, I'll get all that cleaned up, but I gotta stay on point here. We'll definitely get this cleaned up. I'm working on a 1966 Chevy Caprice. I always call it the Impala's prettier sister. See, Chevy went cuckoo in 1966. I believe they actually made there's 4 models that they made of this type of car. They made the Biscayne, which was the cheapest. I believe it was the Biscayne first, then the Bel Air, then the Impala, and then the Caprice. And the Caprice was considered the luxury model because they put wood grain in it. That's about all they did different. Unfortunately, here's a lesson to learn. See this here? This is actually your centerpiece. Now, it should look like this. Put it on the back. Put it on the back. Yeah, if it's tools, put it on the back. So, this looked like this. And my son meant well, and he took water and bleach. And he completely train wrecked the finish. Should look like that, looks like this. But I'm not going to get upset at him. He meant well. Not a big deal. I'm not going factory with the car. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. I found a roll of this, actually contact paper. I'm going to buy a roll from Amazon for $10. I'm just going to cut it, measure it, shave it, and slap it on there, man. We're good to go. So I'm excited. Don't get discouraged. Keep moving forward, kids. That's what I say. Yeah, this car, too, makes me think a lot like my life, you know. Like this car, I was broken. I was busted up, you know. And I was hopeless. Like this car was sitting in somebody's driveway. A lost cause. You know, the guy that owned it was done with it, you know. And there's a big backstory to it. There's a bad frame on it. And I put $2,000 to buy it. And my mechanic, I took it to my mechanic because I wanted to drive it, you know, every day. I was like, oh, this is awesome. My son was excited. He was like 9 years old at the time when we got it. So we took it to my mechanic. And my mechanic took like 5-6 days. He gets it back to me. And I'm like, man, like, what's taking so long? He called me up and he said to me that your frame's bad. It's all rotted out. Talk about a disappointment. I was pretty much discouraged at that point, you know. I'm thinking, okay, the guy got the best of me. I've just lost $2,000. Yeah, look at that. That's cleaning up nice. Trying to keep you guys on point here, but yeah. So I thought it was going to have to do what they call a roller on it, which means you got to pull the body off, unibody bolts and all that stuff, and you put a new frame in. Well, not a new frame, but you find a good donor frame. And I mean, I've never done anything like that, to be honest with you, man. So I was pretty discouraged at that point. I figure I can't believe it. Put them over there on the ground and grab me the roll of 220. It should be right on top there. I need another slice. That's my son. My son's in the business of. So back to the story of the car. Should say 220. Look on the back side of it. All right, I'll come get it. But I can't find it. But this is the piece I was telling you about. I've never fabricated metal before in my life, so this was all rotted. This whole section was gone. There was nothing to hold the window. So actually what I did was I got a piece from a 66 Impala because I couldn't find this piece. And we cut it. We brought them together. And then I did what they call, I brazed it. Never welded before in my life. Never welded before in my life. But look at that. Look at that. Pretty damn good. I mean, like I said, this whole section was gone. This was all, I mean, there was nothing here. It was a big hole. And I bought a similar piece, not the whole thing. I had a section like this. Cut it here. And then we took an electric flux molder and bought it Harbor Freight for about $95. And I just laid a real simple bead, grinded it down, threw some fiberglass on it. So really excited about that. That came out really well. Still needs a little bit of work over there. Needs some work here in different spots. But I'm excited. I'm real excited about that piece. And let's see here. Here's what your sandpaper looks like. Listen to me. Here's another little trick I'm going to tell you kids, okay? In case you don't know this. If you go to AutoZone, you go to Pep Boys, you go to any of your major auto parts suppliers in the United States, they're going to sell you a package of sandpaper, 10 little pieces for about $9. That's what they're going to charge you. It's insane what these places charge. Look at this. Something you would see in a body shop, right? You know where I got this? I got this off of Amazon. You can order this off of Amazon. You can get 80, you can get 40, you can get 180, 220, 320. You know what I paid for this? I paid about $22 for about 60 sheets. So don't go to the AutoZones anymore, anything like that. Don't go to Pit Boys, don't go to those major autos. You try to get bodies, they got a little section in those stores for the body supplies. They're going to get you good. So do yourself a solid, go on to Amazon, look up your grip and order, and there you go. But back to the story of the car. I thought for sure the car was going to go to the junkyard because I don't know nothing about pulling the body, putting a frame under it, or anything like that. So I was very upset for a very long time. And then I got a guy on Facebook, actually, out of a car group, asked me if I had reached out to a place called Weichels Frame in my area off of Trenton Road. And he said that the guy there does a lot of old school hot rods. So I figured, okay, I'll give him a call. Why not? It's worth it at this point because it looks like she's going to the scrapyard, you know. So I called him up and I told him my situation. And he said, well, don't do anything. Don't drive it. Leave it there. He was kind enough to tell me to leave it there. Don't drive it. You bring it, I'll come to your house and take a look. So he did, and good news. He told me that he could save it, and it cost me $1,000 to get the frame straightened out, and he re-welded everything, cut all the bad out, put all the good back, and redid the cross member and held the trams in and all that kind of stuff. But really, really cool, man. Really cool, really lucky. So at that point, I knew I was keeping her, and then I just had to figure out how I was going to go about fixing her. So right after I did that, my neighbor, he's a mechanic. I decided that the suspension and the steering was in bad shape. We decided to do all that. We did all that. That took him about 6 months because he has a family, he has a kid, his wife, you know. So he's going through a really bad time in his life. And so he got the car, and it kind of sat at his shop for a long time. And then I got impatient. I wanted it back. So I got it back with the front end done. We never got the back end done, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. So right now the game plan is to get this beautiful ride to the point where we have been driving it, but if I get pulled over with no windshield, no rear window, yes, oops, Caprice, that's correct, sir, 1966 Caprice. Good job, by the way, guessing, because a lot of people don't get that. But yeah, I'm afraid I'm going to get pulled over with no dashboard and no windshield. So even though I'm super excited about driving it, I better use my better judgment, you know, and not have as much fun with it. So we actually are, the game plan for this beautiful car is to actually wrap it. We're going to wrap it. We found an organization down in Texas called Horsepower for Jesus. Hey, Jake, if you're watching. And they are going to help us out putting a wrap on it so that I can use this as a ministry tool. Hey, at the local car shows. That's basically what we do for Riders for Christ is we go to the car shows. So let's take a look at what we're doing here. kind of tough doing two things at once, but we got our air hose. I got my compressor all hooked up. We're gonna blow it all out now. I think we're just about ready to lay down some Rust-Oleum with a spray bomb, rust-proof primer. Yesterday we put fiberglass in. We had some holes here. We got really lucky though, because usually with these, when these windshields sit, the water or the dash pad, and then the water lays in here and rots this whole section out. So we got really lucky. This was the only area where we had a little bit of an issue right here. I think we had a couple holes here, a couple holes here. So I didn't go crazy with it with metal patch and all that. I don't want to go through all that. So I just put some fiberglass in it. Should be good now for a couple of years. And over there to take care of that. See, we cleaned this out. We cleaned this all out. See how it's all nice and primed now? All cleaned up. Cleaned up really good. Cleaned up really, really well. And usually what I did with this is I used it, for you beginners out there, this is called a die grinder. Okay, you pick one of these up at Harbor Freight for probably, I don't know, $30 I think the other day. And these are your discs, your 3-inch discs, and they screw on real easy. You should actually, you actually take the eggs and the pad itself, and you can twist it on the end of it. You see here, yeah, it doesn't show you in the photo, but yeah, see there, it's a die grinder. And this is what you would pick up at Harbor Freight. They're small, 40 grit. See the 40 grit? 3-inch 40 grit. And they're like $4 a pack. And then what you do is you put the disc on there. Then you run your disc up here, up inside the channel. See how nice and small that is? Fits really, really well. And you try to knock down as much of the rust as humanly possible you can. Clean this all up real nice. Make sure you duct tape your, this is black duct tape, over my trim. Take care of the trim. You don't want to ruin the trim.
It works.
Okay, cool. Good, fine. So, yeah, that's what you do. And
Sorry.
It's okay, buddy. My son just found a drill buried in the shed, so he's excited. No reason to be sorry, bud. Thank you. But over here, I showed this already. This is pitting. They call this pitting. So, you see the squirrels? I hit it with a grinder, with that mini grinder. So we got a little section, see down in here, we got a nice little rust right here. So I'm in the process of still cleaning this side up, clean this channel up in here. But what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to lay the primer on it, or I'm not going to lay the primer. I think I'm going to do is they got stuff called nitrous stain, which is a real thin spot putty. I'm just going to lay a really light, or I can even do, I could do the fiberglass. I could lay a really nice light coat of fiberglass on that and knock it down. I don't want to go crazy with it. You got a speaker down in there. But yeah, believe it or not, this is all metal, which is amazing to me. I thought for sure. This is an air gun, and I got my air compressor hooked up. So there's my dog. There's my mechanic, my buddy. He's we have a. It's another thing you want to get, one of these things above the car. You see, I don't have a garage, so all this is being done in my backyard, and that's how we're doing it. $90 Harbor Freight, and get yourself a canopy to keep yourself out of the sun so you don't bake alive. And you pull your hose in here. There's a male and a female fitting, if you see here. I believe this is the male. Male screws on the outside, and female will actually go on the inside. The two different hose fittings too. To get the male on, you pull this back. See there, you pull back for you beginner guys. Alright, now you're locked in. Real simple, looks pretty intimidating. Okay, I just shoot a lot. Look how nice that looks now. Pop your hose off there. You're fitting over there, but you take a look now. Right? Looks pretty good, right? See it all the way across? Looks pretty good. Looks pretty smooth. We did that spot there. Over here. Pretty clean all the way. Clean up in here. See how they brought the two ends together there? That's the original paint. I believe that was a marina blue on black. See how it's nice and smooth? Like I said, whatever you feel, if you can feel something when you do this, when it's smooth, when you think it's smooth, if you feel it, guess what? You're going to see it. There's no way around it. You're going to see that. So my suggestion is to make sure when you use your 180 or 220, make sure it's nice and smooth. All right, so now what we're going to do, got our spray bomber, right? Now, I picked this out of the trash can, just a cheap piece of cardboard, because you don't, spray paint flies everywhere, so I'm trying to do a little tricky with one hand, but let's see if I can put you guys right here. Pick you right back up in a second. Yeah, right back in a second. You could tape it, if I could find a way to wedge it in, but I usually do it like that. Put it behind the shifter maybe, like so. Give me trouble. All right, there we go. That's good. We might have to tape it. There we go. All right, there we go. That's good. Nice cardboard. All right, now what you're going to do with this is for you guys, the beginners out there, you don't want to get right on top of it. All right, you want to do it from a distance. So, and you don't want to soak it. You definitely don't want to do that. You want to do a real nice light coat. Make sure the nozzle's clear. There's no bumpy lumpies on there. Are you ready? Here we go. See how nice and neat that is? Look at that, huh? Is that clean or what? Gorgeous, right? Okay. What do you think? Now that's going to dry. Oh. That's another thing too, you might want to wear a mask. I'm inside the car, so I need to get out. So man, that stinks, but never get used to that smell. But yeah, it looks pretty good. Now what'll happen is that's not going to dry shiny. That's going to dry like a really nice flat back. It's going to look really smooth. So I'm going to finish this section up here. You see up here. Try to be careful. Okay. I'll just do a light coat, show you. See how nice that is? See how smooth that's coming out? Okay. But see the pitting. See how the pitting's going to show? See how it shows? What's good about this is now I can light bondo. See how it's drying? It's not going to dry shiny. It's drying like a flat. I'm going to leave this. I'm going to tell you why. I'm not going to put any putty on it. This spray bomb should have an anti-corrosion agent in it. I believe it does. You want to make sure you have one if you're dealing with rust. And this beautiful piece of this is what you call your dashboard. So this was actually buckled. See it? And then this sits on top of that like this. See it? See, it sits on there like this. So it's all leather. It's a really nice piece. Really nice. And so that will cover most of this. Now your cowl, they call this your cowl. This has got to be sanded and painted yet. I haven't done anything with this yet. I'm going to try to knock this out today as well. But that sits up in here like that. So I got to see how all the old paint. We're going to knock all this down, sand that all down. We're going to get that back in today. But see, a lot of this stuff is going to be hidden because this goes all the way up and covers this. This is where your wipers sit right here. Your wipers sit up in there. Your wipers sit on here, actually. There's a trick with these, too. You got to lift it, and underneath you'll see a clip. You take a small screwdriver, you push the clip to the left or to the right, and then you wiggle and they slide right off. But a lot of this is going to be hidden. There's going to be chrome over it. Once the glass goes in, see these rivets right here? There's rivets, right? See that rivet right there? Okay, well, there's going to, a clip is going to sit on that. I had some, oh yeah, here's one. These are all rotted. These are the old clips. See them? You see how you have that little opening? Today, for any beginners out there, that part slides down on there like that. Okay, my fingers are like, okay, see that? See that horse, that U shape slides down over top of the rivet. See? And that clicks and pops. And then when you put your chrome, put the glass, then you put the chrome has a clip that slips behind this. Sits behind the top of the clip here. Slips behind that. And it locks in. So all of this is going to be hidden. The only thing you're really going to see is this. That's why I'm knocking this down. You're going to see this. And you're going to see this. But all of this is going to be hidden. All of this is going to be hidden. Same thing in here. All of this is going to be hidden. But yeah, if you take a look now, primer should be nice and dry now. Take a look. See what I mean about sanding it? Get nice and close, see? See how we smoothed it all out? See that? See how it's all nice and painted now? A little bit of a fish eye there. See that spot there? And that's because there was probably a little bit of grease there or something like that. So we might be able to throw another coat on top of that to hide that. But you got to be careful now. You don't want to mess up your gauges. You don't want to, because paint goes everywhere. So let's get this out of the way. And what we're going to do is we'll probably cover that. But trying to think of where I can put you guys so I can do the work too. But there you go. There's your lesson. Here's 180 grit. Don't dig deep with it. Don't buy your sandpaper. Do not buy your sandpaper at Pep Boys, AutoZone. Don't do it. I'm telling you, go onto Amazon, go on the line, online, look up the sandpaper. I believe it's a 6-inch disc, and buy the roll. 20. You'll be surprised. They even get them by the box. So cheap, man. Oh yeah, this is your glove box. Believe it or not, in these cars, the glove box is made of cardboard. Ain't that crazy? They're made out of cardboard. I couldn't believe when I saw that. They're not even plastic. That's actual cardboard. I actually bought this from a junkyard for this car. But yeah, that's actual cardboard. I don't know why they didn't make them out of plastic, because they really are pretty cheesy, to be honest with you. So they rip real easy, real easy. There's insulation up in there. That's your firewall up in there. This is your heater. Your heater back in there that adjusts, that opens your vents. Over here you got all your fuse box on the back wall back there. That's your wiring harness, all your wires for your car. You know, it's not really heavy duty. I believe this heavy one here was for speakers to the radio. No radio in it right now. But we'll eventually get there. Spot down there for a speaker. Of course, there's a speaker up here. You see that one under there. I could even remove that old speaker if I wanted to, but I think I'm just going to leave it. Won't hurt. Won't hurt at all. So I was going to try and get the dash in today. That's what I think we're going to try to do. I'd like to get it in today, and but yeah, look at that. See? Look at the difference, huh? Pretty cool, right? Like I said, anybody can do this, man. Anybody can do this. You just got to have patience, a little bit of wit about you. Like I said, I just put this on the trash can. Look at that. See that? See that? Look at that. See how they fit? And you push it a little bit so it kind of goes up underneath. See? You want to protect that leather. That's all you want to do. So now if you see here, you see right there, I missed a spot. See, there's a chip there, a couple chips there. So now if I go to, here's one here. Now if I go to paint that, I say I can't really feel it. But what's the point? Right? We're here. So let's just get rid of them. Right? That would make most sense, right? There's one there. See, no one. Using the 180. Take your time. Hey, see how it's feathering? See how it feathered? Now it's gone. See how it did? I brought the black back into the red, the original primer. There's a couple over here. You want to get rid of those. Like I said, anything that you can feel with your finger, you're going to see with the paint. Now, there's a big one here. And see that sucker hiding? See it? Now, if I go to throw paint on, that's going to be ugly. Actually, that's a little bit of rust under there. So, let's take care of that. It's got to get painted over there anyway. And when you don't have big chips and scratches, you don't need to knock all the paint down. You really don't. Really don't need to do all that. Yeah. See how it's shiny? You don't want to do that. You got to have what they call adhesion. You want the paint, you have to scuff the old paint like that so that the primer or the new paint will actually stick. That's what you want to do. See how you just scuff it, you ain't got to get crazy with it. The only time you get crazy with it is when you're trying to work out a chip or a scratch. That's ugly in there. Look at that up in there. See? That's ugly. So let's try to knock that out. Can't get in there too good, boy. A little bit of persistence, a little bit of patience. See that? It's cleaning it right up for me. See that? See that? Let's take this side here. Alright. Like I said, if you feel it, you're going to see it. So why not be sure? Knock it all down with the paper. Now see, you gotta be careful right here. See, there's your soft leather. Right there's your soft leather. So you definitely don't want to. We're probably gonna put tape on that because we definitely don't want to ruin it. I mean, it really looks good as it sits right now. It's not all warped and faded and trashed. So let's be smart about it. A little bit of piece of tape will actually save us a lot of trouble in the long run. It'll look a lot better. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for checking things out, and thank you for staying along with me, hearing the story of the old Chevy. And like I said, anybody can do this, man. Don't get discouraged. Don't quit. Don't give up. Look at our section we did. Look at that. Yeah, man, look at that, huh? Is that awesome or what? See what I mean? Piece of 180. Took my time with it. Looks amazing. And that one little section that was ugly actually dried. It took a little longer to dry, but it looks great, man. So I think we're ready to finish this part up. And then we're going to do the top. We're going to run across the top. Now, I'd like to get the dash in today. So we'll see. Maybe we'll take an intermission and I'll go back and... Oh, here's the duct tape. Okay, look. I need two hands, so give me a minute. Here's our duct tape. I use duct tape. You gotta, I mean, it's not the best stuff to use. You actually use masking because it's pretty rough. But I just want to put a little bit here just to protect it from, they call it overspray. That's what they call that. Overspray. So here we go. Let's go get our paint spray bomb. So people just watching, this is what we're using. Sandable primer, Rust-Oleum. Should have a anti-corrosion agent in it for us. And that son of a bitch popped down there, didn't it? Son of a bitch. Guess it's because it's dirty. So what we'll do is we'll just be careful with that. There we go, kids. I see it. Ready? Yeah. Ready? So you don't want to go crazy. There you go. We'll take it easy. You put it on there light. You put it on heavy, it's going to make a mess. You don't want to make a mess. Yeah. Look at that, huh? Pretty good, right? Now it looks wet, but I love the way it dries. It's going to dry nice, real smooth. As that section we did up in there, remember? How ugly it was? See how that little spot with the little bubblies? Now that should dry. Alright, so she looks good to me. She looks really good to me. I mean, well, we've done that bottom section now, so let's hit the top. Hit the top. See, right there. You guys seeing it? Am I getting you right or am I screwing this up? This will be tough here with the steering wheel. There you go. There you go. See? There you go. Let that dry. Okay. There you go. How's that look? Pretty amazing, right? Pretty cool, right? Right? Not bad, right, guys? Pretty good. See, that's all shiny in spots there, but that'll clean up real nice. Now, let's go here. Let's do this. What you do is you do a couple coats at a time here. Because you don't want to go crazy. You don't want to go crazy, too fast. A lot of guys said that, not even bother buying a dash pad. They just did that. They blacked it out. That's it. So I'm going to go grab me. Do want to be smart about this. I had a mask. My stuff is really not good for you to be inhaling. There's my see. It's hard doing these cars without a garage in your backyard, but because you got to have at least an hour to put all this stuff away at night. So we're getting ready to. So I still got to knock the fiberglass down here. So I think I'm going to set you guys up. If you guys want to see me cut the fiberglass, or it's just getting too boring now, and maybe we'll do it later. But yeah, 3-inch 40 grit disc. What the heck. They pull the air hose over here. I'll show you guys. Fiberglass next. Well, you see what the inside looked like. Came out really nice. And do not get discouraged. Any of you guys out there that want to build a car, customize a car, restore a car, it can be done. It can be done in your backyard. It's a little bit of work, a little extra work because you got to clean up and all that. But put this here so you guys see. I'm facing the roof than anything. Okay, kids, that's pretty much it. I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you for watching, checking things out. Riders for Christ ministry. Pretty good over there. I'll blow it all up, but yeah, we're looking for volunteers. You're a man or woman of faith and want to share your faith. You love cars, you love racing, you love hot rods. Hit me up, send me a message, and thank you for watching, and stay tuned. I believe I'll be in Maple Grove on the 15th of May for the Outlaws No Prep King race. So we'll see what happens there, but thank you for watching. Click like, follow. God bless you all. Talk to you soon. Check out my morning devotionals too if you get a chance. All right, take care.